What did the one tree say to the other tree? You think they don't talk? That's the fascinating thing that we are discovering, and there is just so much more to discover about trees, the oldest living organism on Earth. We now know that they communicate with each other through their root systems. They don't only communicate, they share. They share nutrients, they share information, they share memories, they learn together. This is all made possible through the mycorrhizal network. It's basically the nervous system beneath the floor that the trees and the fungus and the bacteria and the microbes in the soil all come together in a symbiotic relationship, allowing for trees, sometimes of the same species, sometimes of interspecies communication, sometimes they talk for different reasons. Sometimes there is a toxic pathogen that a tree experiences, and it is able to send a warning to its neighbors to then them send out chemicals or hormones to deter and protect themselves from a pathogenic bug or a invasive species or a toxin. And it's a fascinating tale of how the trees are still standing. And when deforestation happens, when human deforestation happens, it has been hypothesized that the trees send a stress signal to their neighbors. Now, what can that even sound like? How can you even react as a tree? You are rooted into the ground, and then you say that this is coming. Or what is fascinating is that deforestation not only affects the forest by cutting down the trees, and this eliminates the amount that this forest can sequester carbon, but it also impacts the trees that are still standing, because the mycorrhizal network is and has been interrupted, disturbed, broken. And you can only imagine when that happens, how do trees respond to this crisis? They have been standing for so long on this earth. They have experienced many climate changes, many changes in their environments, and they are resilient largely because of their ability to communicate with each other through the network of nerves and fungus and bacteria and their roots beneath our feet. This is how they do it. And now we just have to ask ourselves, how will they continue to communicate? How can we open a communication with them? We scientists are observing the different interactions between trees, between different species, between different funguses. And so there is so much more to learn about this complex system, as is there to learn about our bodies, because right now my body is a complex system. There are inputs, there are outputs, and it is simply a small scale earth. So I treat my body how I want to treat the earth around it. And so when I need inspiration and when I need to feel connected to earth, I turn to the trees. There is some serious ancient wisdom in the trees that continue to inspire and surprise. Now, one last thing I'll leave you with is to paint a picture of what these forests can look like is Pando, the Trembling Giant. The Trembling Giant is an enormous grove of quaking aspens. that. Take the forest as a single organism metaphor and make it literal. The grove really is a single organism. Each of the approximately 47,000 trees or so trees in the grove is genetically identical, and all the trees share a single root system. While many trees spread through flowering and sexual reproduction, quaking aspens usually reproduce asexually by sprouting new trees from the expansive lateral root of the parent. The individual trees aren't individuals, but stems of a massive single clone, and this clone is truly massive. Pando, we may recognize the pan in pandemic. Pando is a Latin word that translates to I spread. So, there really truly is mysticism and ancient wisdom in these forests, and if you are intrigued and or at all scratching your head of how this is possible, then I don't know what will, because this is truly very exciting and there is much more to be discovered. So I will attach the articles I referenced and read to produce this video in the description below, so you can do your research and you can continue to learn about the mycorrhizal network and the funguses and the bacteria and the symbiotic relationships and the roots and the nutrients and the minerals and the resiliency and the communication, and how when first looking at the human nervous system, or the nerves that make up the brain, they coined the term dendrites, coming directly from the Greek word dendron, meaning trees. So right from the start, they saw similarities between nervous systems and trees. But now it's going deeper. It's going deeper beneath the ground, and when we see that there truly actually is a nervous system connecting trees below our feet where they can communicate and learn together, this truly changes a lot, and I hope it really does, because it needs to. Right now we are not respecting our trees the way any of them deserve, and so I'm going to continue this research, and I hope you will too. And if you go outside and you hug a tree today, I'm sure you'll feel loved. So thank you. Thank you very much.